Yeah, well, I got something to say to Glenn Beck and to Dana Loesch and to all these passive people. They're saying that we should not match what the left does. Well, see, we are in different times now. We are not in the 60s where it was a culture war. We are now up to a civil war and a culture war. And you find for the minds of the culture, the minds are still open-minded to hearing you. But now they're not open to hearing you. You're able to eventually change their mind if you just stand your ground and just not break rank and hold arm to arm, shoulder to shoulder. That was the 60s. They're way past that now. They're all cultists now and believing it to the degree of Scientology. And you can't get through to them. Their minds are mush. Their minds are gone. There's nothing for them to listen to anymore. They are just hell-bent. They're unable to be reached. Anyone sane has already left the Democratic Plantation Party, and now they're being called ill because they left the plantation like Kanye West because they can think for themselves. Well, I am with Gavin McGinnis. I am with the Proud Boys, and I am sitting here saying that any group like that should be defended and should be, backed up with, because we know that this is what is required. And I guarantee you Hell's Angels in New York would do exactly the same thing. The guy that's on WABC at noon from Hell's Angels and had a morning show years ago in the morning on that same station, but moved it to noon. Guess what? For Don Imus, that's what. He would do exactly the same thing. You need to realize that this is what cleaning up the communities are. We need to stop living in fear, and we need to clean up the mess. And you know what? We need to shout these hateful people down that's destroying our culture and destroying our country. And Nancy Pelosi is a disgusting bitch. You know who else is a disgusting little bitch? Is Maxine Waters. And then we got this little punk ass thinks he's everything, Mr. Booker. Mr. Booker. And the way he attacked Kavanaugh with no proof of sexual assault whatsoever. Then we have Eric Holder. Then we have Jesse Jackson. Then we have Reverend Wright. Hey, all chickens are coming home to roost. And then we got, Al Sharpton. And we got all these people inciting violence, man. This is not the party of your old classical liberals. This is not your grandfather's Democratic Party. They want us wiped off the face of the earth like Israel. And passive-aggressive mentality is not going to get you nowhere. And some of these hypocrites, condescending hypocrites like Dana Loesch and Ben Shapiro and Glenn Beck and Stu from the Glenn Beck program, they have no problems with self-defending with guns. Like if you sitting there like, oh, you can break rank to shoot one of them, that's fine. Therefore, the Second Amendment. If you're using a gun, you can break rank. But if you're using fist and regular fighting like they do in the UFC or in boxing, then guess what? You broke rank and you're going to get arrested and it's your fault. Even though you're just self-defending just like you did in any other situation. What do you think? There was a peaceful parade in Baltimore. Oh, but Gavin McGinnis broke rank and started a fight. What about New York after he left? Venue he was hosting to do a reenactment of a Japanese thing. And then he got out of his little sword and, used as well of his props and came out there. And then got attacked by the Antifa in New York. And they were beating up a reporter. And he was on the ground getting all beat up. I'm like, you know what? This is not okay, man. We're not living in a civil society. We're in a civil disobedience society, not a civil society. This society is not the country that I grew up in when I was a kid. And you know what? It's not the society we live in anymore. We cannot reason with these people. This country is gone. We have nothing left to reason with them with. Our country is gone as we know it. Unless we stop it. There's a slowly trying to take our country. San Francisco and LA and Portland, Oregon and Seattle, Washington and Austin, Texas and Charleston, Virginia and Boston, Massachusetts and New York and Chicago and Baltimore and in Ferguson in Ferguson, Missouri. They're all gone to mob-like mentality. They're mobbing people. They are attacking people, and we don't live in a safe society, in a safe country anymore. They are saying they're hurting people. They're saying they're attacking, and we're supposed to just sit there and take it Martin Luther King style. Well, I got news for you, Glenn Beck. In a civil war, you must use Malcolm X. In a culture war, yes, Martin Luther King. Now it's Malcolm X. It's not because it works, because it probably doesn't, like when it was a culture war. But the difference is they're unreasonable now. The difference is they want to kill you now. It doesn't matter if it's working. We're not trying to get anything to work anymore because we've given up on those people. But we haven't given up on our country and the people that are sane. See, the problem is you're still stuck in the state of trying to save these people, or still trying to find something that works with these people. I don't want to work with these people anymore. They are now my enemy of my friend. No, I just don't sit there and care to have them as my friend. I don't want them anywhere near me or have anything to do with them. And as far as I'm concerned, they are gone. They're all dead to me. And if they want to harm you, I would hope you'd protect my ass and you'd go and whip the living crap out of them too. So I wouldn't get put in the hospital crippled or possibly paralyzed or on life support. You know what? They're not going to be done until they take you out. Don't you get it? See, the problem is that they want to sit there and do something that will fix and solve the problem. Nothing will fix and solve the problem anymore. It's beyond that. See, you do Martin Luther King when you can still fix and solve the problem. When there's still stuff that will fix it and that will make it work. Now, it's like it doesn't work if you do Malcolm X. But it also doesn't work when you do Martin Luther King either, because guess what? You just get beaten to death until you're dead. Before, in the 60s, you get sent to the hospital, in the emergency room, and get bandaged up. Now you're actually getting sent to the morgue, not the hospital. He's dead. There's no pulse. No point in putting him in the ambulance to the hospital. He's freaking in the ground. So you people need to realize that that's the difference. Back then, you can sit there and use Luther King tactics and eventually win them over, and it solved the problem. Now, because they don't listen anymore, now because they don't care. It's like, you know what, even if you disobey them and say, I'm going to start to turn right, or I'm going to keep turning right, I'm going to ignore you until I turn right around you. They're just going to sit there and continue to attack your car. They're going to make you run them over or whatever, and they're going to stop you regardless. Or even if they can't get you to comply, if you're on foot and they want you to do something, you won't do it, then guess what? Antifa will just beat you up till you're dead or hanging to life. I mean, ask Lauren Southern what she witnessed in Germany with that anti-fascist group where it originates in Germany, and what she saw and all the attacks that was done to her over there in Germany. Well, that's exactly what will happen here. And you know what? They're going to kill you unless you stand up and fight back. These people are not here to have a good time. They'll sit there and do everything that they can to you. You saw what happened in the San Jose rally where they sit there and do eggs at people and ears was bleeding coming from people's ears? I mean, no, I should not live in a society where I had to take my ear getting bloodied on a weekly basis. If that's what country that I'm living in, I don't want to live in that country. I am going to stand up and fight back with or without Glenn Beck, with or without Dana Lash. But it's okay for her to defend guns and say, well, hey, you had the right to use a gun, use a gun. So you can sit there and do something with a gun to defend yourself. But when you get into fisticuffs or a fight or do something like in the West Side Story, then I was saying you're the bad person. But, you can protect yourself with a gun? No. But because we choose to use our fists as the gun, I was saying it's changed? No. It's just another way of protecting yourself. It's another way of ending them before they end you. So why in the hell you act like it's so different? We chant to Nancy Pelosi. We chant that because she's a disgusting human being and she has no ill will left, and I don't seem to care anymore. I really don't care what people think of me anymore. I just sit there and I'm honest, and I sit there and tell them off because I don't care. Unless you register as a care in my mind, then I'm not going to care about you. I have friends that I care about. I have people that matter in my life, and I have people that, when they show that I matter in their lives, and they matter in mine. Otherwise, I don't care. Nothing can say will talk me off my game. I got God. And no one can emotionally, reasonably talk me out of it. If I have something to say, I'm going to say it. And I'm going to say it to Nancy Pelosi. I'm going to say it to Chuck Schumer. I'm going to say it to anyone that thinks that they're going to sit there and ruin our country. I'm going to sit there and be as vocal as I can be to stand up to these people. And Nancy Pelosi, we're going to tell them whatever things we want to. We're going to be a mob right back at them because we're going to tell them they're not welcome here in our neighborhood. If they're going to bring their filth and disgust to our culture, you're not going to poison our citizens. You're not going to brainwash them with socialism and liberal crapism in schools, in college, and in high school. You're sitting there brainwashing our culture, whatever whole culture, depending on the government, because you're brainwashing them into the entitlement society. This is not an entitlement country. We should learn to get for our own, defend for our own, and learn how to value money because you earned it, because you worked to get what you got instead of having something entitled to you. See, would anyone care? No, because if they wanted to give it to you free, you just think, hey, it's a free rate. They're just going to give it to you like it's from the lottery or something, or the publisher's clearinghouse. You didn't do nothing to earn it. Would you pay it back? Probably not, because you probably don't think I have to. It's just free money tree. There is no free money tree unless you earn it. This country has no value for the nation it's in, and no value for the country that we are. And you know what? People are so immature right now that these 18 to 21-year-olds are putting us in a vulnerable state. That was the only reason I said for raising the guns to 21. But I don't think they're ever going to be age appropriate for a gun if they're going to continue to be blinded into this leftist crap, because they're going to just be irresponsible for a gun. And, trying to get you to be mature and knock this immaturity out. And for those that are conservative and know how to handle a gun and use a gun properly, yeah, you shouldn't have to have the gun to 21. But, it's trying to get the people from the other side, the left, that's just crazy and don't know how to handle a gun, to get them to have their inks on them so maybe they can't get a gun, or maybe at 21 and make them have to grow up and mature. Maybe at 21 they still would be mature. I'm like at the point where, you know what, it's going to happen. Because it's like, even at 21, they might still be immature. But you know what? I'm trying to just protect the citizens because no one is taking these guns out of these people's hands. Like, even when you do a background check and say that they're mentally unstable or they shouldn't have access to a gun, you don't see no one taking guns away from people. What about Miami? They didn't take away that gun at Stoneman Douglas High School. He should have had a gun. What about that newsroom that was shut up, a while back? They didn't take the gun away from him when he was sitting there stalking this person for all this time. Like, it's like, if you're not going to do anything to protect people from guns, then I'm infringing on gun rights, not because I want to, but because you guys don't want to. You see, you do something, or else the gun range is going to have to be like London. I don't want it to be like the UK, but if nothing is happening, then what choice do we have? I want to protect our citizens. No one wants to do anything. But I do. I want schools to have metal detectors. I want schools to have teachers that want to be armed to be armed. I want there to be a school guard if it has to be, with a gun, and have a guard there on school grounds. I want to protect our citizens, but no one's doing anything. The schools that don't have metal detectors still don't. The schools that don't have a security guard still don't. The schools that don't have teachers on that want to be still don't. Nothing is changing. Nothing is changing to make it safer. And any gun show that doesn't enforce the gun show laws, nothing's being enforced. So therefore, they're taking it as a gun show loophole because some of them are not doing background checks like they're supposed to. Well, then they shut that gun show down because there is no gun show loophole. You have to do it too. That is not. Nothing's happening there either. You got people on NRA TV talking about, we're going to protect people. But no one's protecting people. Our citizens are living in an unsafe world because people are having guns. No one's taking them away. But see, this is what the left wants to do. They want to sit there and cause us to be in this situation. They don't want nothing. See, the cops are told to stand down, so we're not safe now because the cops are standing down. No one's enforcing the laws. No one's doing anything. And then it's getting us to want, we want to raise the age to 21. See, that's exactly what they want us to do. So if they're not going to do anything, because I guess they're all liberal, leftist, socialist, Marxist believing people, then I guess they're going to leave us in a vulnerable situation. And if you go to a courtroom to try to get a court order to take away a gun because you think someone shouldn't have access to a gun because he's mentally unstable or he's a danger, they don't take the guns away. They just sit there, no, we're not going to take the guns away because they're leftist, liberal courthouses. They're socialistly run that believes in democratic ways. Like, we're not taking the gun out of that person's hands. Even though they vote left and say they don't want guns anymore. They want tougher guns. And I guess that's why they're doing it. Because when I say it's not safe. And then it's going to get the people groomed to winning, tougher gun laws. And you know what? I'm like, I just want safe. It's not like I wanted it to be 21. If it was the 1920s when people knew how to properly shoot off a gun and they did it properly and they weren't irresponsible and they just, treated the gun like it was a responsible thing and didn't just shoot it off like you only knew he just, like it's a toy gun or a Nerf gun, then yes, back then people weren't dying. Back then 16-year-olds were safely having guns because it was a culture, it was a society difference and societal difference. And now it's like, you know what, everyone's so irresponsible and other people bail you out when you screw up. And it's just becoming not safe no more because other people bail you out and other people will get you out of trouble. It's like, hey, if I accidentally kill someone, that's all right. I'll say innuendo defense. Like I'm wealthy and I didn't know right from wrong because I'm too wealthy or something. Or whatever that one kid was, using as a defense out of Texas. It's like, you know what? It's like, I'm just like, you know what? I don't know anything, See, these people are spoiled. These people don't appreciate anything. And so they just go out and say, you know what? I'm just going to play with this gun and guess what? I don't care. They're not doing anything to make it more safer to have guns, so that's why we end up forcing ourselves to want gun control. When we don't, we want them to have access to it. But then make it safe if we're going to have all this access to it. I want gun age to be at 18, not 21. I just want it to be safe. And because it wasn't safe, that's why I said 21. If you make it safe, it can even be 16. If you enforce the background checks like gun shows, if you enforce to sit there and confiscate guns from people that shouldn't have it, instead like, well, we sit there and brought you to stop a sexual stalker and you still didn't take the gun away, well then it's like, well, then we can't have guns out there then. If you're not going to take guns away when you brought stuff to the courtroom that shows they shouldn't have a gun and you still don't take the gun away, well then I guess what, I'm going to want the age to be raised, our guns to be outlawed altogether, because this is not something where I want this 18 and 21 year olds just going out there shooting people the way to solve their problems because they don't know how to deal with life yet. They're just a small adult trying to mature to adulthood and they can't handle a breakup with their girl or something and they take a gun and they're like 19 years old and shoot their girlfriend in the head. I mean, I don't know. I just want people to sit there and be in a rational mind, and when they're not in a rational state, not have access to a gun. I want things to be safer. Then gun age can be as low as 16. I don't care. But you know what? Maybe everything should be 21 because it doesn't seem like at least a lot of the younger millennials that are leftist socialists, they don't even know the issues on the ballot. So why are they voting when they have no clue? Maybe they shouldn't be an adult to 21 because they clearly are ignorant 18 to 20-year-olds that don't know anything hardly. They don't know anything. The schools are not teaching them about real history. They're learning Common Core, so they're not even good at math. I mean, I don't understand what this is, man. I know I'm going all over the place, but you know what? This culture is really going out of control. And the leftists is just brainwashing them into downright hating our country. And it's like, you know what, we're downright mean country. And all these people have this much hate in their heart. And we can sit there and show love all you want to. The fact is, their hate is so far that I think we can't reach them. Just like we can't reach people in Scientology. I think they're just completely far gone, man. I don't think there's anything left to save. These people are gone. These people have nothing but hate in their hearts. And I think their hearts are turned too far black to save them. We can sit there and say, we're not going to fight you. We're going to sit there and share love. They don't care. You can't reason with Antifa. Until they become Antifa, yes, you can still reason with them. That's called a culture where they're still, they're still being wired to, and you can help the wiring of how and what they think in the program. But once they become Antifa, they're just plain mush. They're like data from Start the Next Generation, where they don't feel anything. They don't have any whatevers, and so there's no reason with them because their compassion is all gone. Their heart is all gone. And when you stand up and show them love, it doesn't matter. They're just too black cold for their heart to even have empathy to anyone. So any of you stand there and say, I'm not going to fight you back and try to show them love. It's like they don't love themselves no more. They completely have 0% love for themselves. So they don't love themselves, and then they don't have any heart or any love left. I think they're just here just to because they're miserable and all they want to do is beat the living crap out of you because they don't like you, they don't think you belong, they've been wanting to sit there and say you're out to take what they're supposed to have, like they're afraid of losing their houses, their cars, their free foods. It's like they're entitled and everything's done, so they have to just protect it at all costs and turn off the emotions. So they actually have no emotions, but even though they may act on emotion as far as facts, meaning facts is emotions to them, like their emotions, they use it as fact. It doesn't mean that they still have emotions as far as compassion. So when they sit there and beat the living crap out of you, it doesn't affect them. So there's like, well, we're not gonna start you back. It won't even affect them because I just think they're completely too just so far gone that I don't think there's anything worth saving. I think their minds are turned to mush. Kill or be killed. These people are going to take you out, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you can sit there and try to be like, I'm not going to fight back, and you can beat me up all you want, I'm not going to do anything. They're not going to stop till you're dead in the ground. It's not a hospital visit, it's a morgue visit after they're done with them. If people are important, you think these people, you could sit there and beat them down, and all of a sudden they're going to stop? No, because nothing they will do will change anything, because they don't seem to care. Nothing seems to matter, and everything is over. They are done. They are giving up on ever loving anyone that's not with them. They're like part of the corrupt brainwashing by the left, and I think that they're just sitting there wired, and they're just programmed and just doing this, and they just have no compassion left. So Devin McGinnis is right. We need to stand up to these people. These people want to see you killed. These people want to see you taken out. There's no reasoning with them. Their minds are gone. They are completely heartless. They are completely brainwashed, and they're just doing what they're told, and they just, it doesn't matter. They're done, man. If you sit there and they're going to redirect traffic, they're getting in there, stopping ambulances from getting to the hospital. I mean, they're sitting there like they're doing all this stuff. Their mind is completely rotted. Their mind is completely corrupt. And I don't think there's any salvage or saving them. They are gone. They're completely. I don't think. I mean, you try. I mean, if you can break up Scientology and unbrainwash all those people going to Scientology, fine. But just ask, Leah Remini, how many Scientology people are still Scientologists? I mean, I'm shocked she left. I mean, I'm shocked she wasn't too far gone and brainwashed that she couldn't leave, and she did. And she did a special on E&E about it. On top of that, so good for you. But too many people, they'll just leave their families. They don't care, and there's no getting them back. They're not part of your life anymore. They cut you out, and they're just gone. They're going to die being a Scientologist. So it's like these people are going to be dying being Antifa and raising havoc. They're gone. You can't save them anymore. Anyone salvageable, that's, has any kind of heart left is left, because they can't do this, because they can't sit there and see what's going on, because it's just like, that's not me. I can't sit there and hurt people. And, we're not doing it because we can hurt people. We're doing it because this needs to stop, because these people need to stop. And these people are not going to sit there and run our streets, ruin our streets, and push us underground. It's called anarchy. And when it's a fog of war like with anarchy, then rules don't apply. These people are just going to do whatever they can, and our streets are going to be taken over. No, because if not, it'll completely be overrun by fascists. You want every city to be run by fascists and the cops to stand down? Then we just lost our country, and it scares me. And in November, we might even lose the House. I think we'll get the Senate and keep the Senate, but the House, I'm sure we're probably going to lose. So I don't know if we're going to have a country. I'm freaking out right now. But what I'm seeing in Portland, what I'm seeing in Ferguson, and the fires and the burning down of Little Caesars and the robbing of the Ferguson Mart when Mike Brown case happened, when I see people reacting like this in New York to Gavin McGinnis and in Baltimore and in Austin, Texas, to me it's just like when these anti-fascist people do what they do, like you would think just staying there is going to stop it? No. Because you see, minds can still be persuaded back in the 60s. That's why Martin Luther King worked. But see, Martin Luther King died later by a gunshot wound, not by, the violence or civil rights, because he won that by doing what he did. And he was able to stop them by doing that. And so he was able to get them to back off. But shooting is a totally different situation. He got shot, and that is nothing you can do about it. So persuade them and they backed out, and that's why they end up also persuading to give blacks, civil rights. And because today's society, they don't want like that, like if we need to eliminate them, like wipe them off the face of the earth like Israel.